Build your foundation, create options, achieve freedom. Time is your ally, patience is the key. Small steps today, big results tomorrow. Compound daily, watch it grow. Stay consistent, leave a legacy. Build your foundation.
There's this moment in every financial journey where everything just clicks. One day you feel like you're getting nowhere, and the next, it feels like your money is working harder than you are. It's not magic, it's just math. So today, let's dive into the 3 specific milestones where wealth building really shifts into overdrive.
So, does this feel familiar? You're doing all the right things. You're saving, you're investing, but when you check your accounts, the progress feels, well, painfully slow, like continental drift slow. If you've ever felt that way, you are definitely not alone. It's the exact point where so many people get discouraged and give up, right before things are about to get really good.
And this really gets to the heart of the problem. Our perception of how wealth is built is often just flat out wrong. We imagine it's this straight, steady 45-degree line. But the reality? It's way more exciting. It's an exponential J-curve. It starts out slow, almost flat for a while, and then it just shoots upwards. Understanding this one difference is the absolute key to sticking with it.
The best way to think about it is like a snowball rolling down a really, really long mountain. When you start, it's just this tiny thing. You got to pack it together, you got to give it a push to get it going. And at first, it picks up a little snow, but it's not moving very fast. But as it keeps rolling, it gets bigger and faster and bigger until it becomes this massive, unstoppable force that's growing all on its own. That's your net worth.
So, what's the engine driving this whole snowball effect? Well, it's a concept so powerful it's been called the 8th wonder of the world. And it's the key to finally busting that myth of slow, linear growth for good. And that concept is, of course, compound interest. It's your money making money, and then all that new money starts making its own money. It's a pretty simple idea, right? But the power behind it is just staggering. Honestly, those who get it build serious wealth. And those who don't, well, they spend their lives wondering why they just can't seem to get ahead. All right, let's talk about milestone number 1, getting to your first $100,000. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is by far the hardest, most psychologically draining part of the whole journey. This is the grind.
So how long are we talking here? Well, if you invest, say, $500 a month and get a pretty standard 7% annual return, it'll take you about 7 years and 9 months to hit that first 100K. Now look, I know, almost 8 years can feel like an eternity, especially when you're just starting out. But you have to remember, that time is going to pass no matter what. The only question is where you'll be when it does.
And this right here is so important to see. After all that time, yeah, your money has grown by over $50,000, which is awesome, but you still had to put in nearly the same amount yourself through pure savings. You see how the scales are almost balanced. Your effort is still doing most of the heavy lifting. This is why people quit. They don't realize the scales are just about to tip permanently. But if you can just push through that phase, this is where everything changes. This is where that little snowball you've been pushing starts to pick up some serious speed. The growth starts to outpace your savings, and believe me, the journey gets a whole lot more fun.
And here's where it gets really exciting. Remember those nearly 8 years it took to get to your first 100 grand? Okay, well guess how long it takes to get the second 100,000? Just 5 more years. Let that sink in for a second. The timeline is actually shrinking. Your money is officially doing more of the work than you are.
Now let's fast forward to the 18-year mark, because the effect here is just staggering. At this point, you've personally saved about $108,000 of your own money, but your account is sitting at $400,000. That means for every single dollar you saved, the market has given you almost $3 back. Your wealth isn't really coming from your paycheck anymore, it's coming from your portfolio.
This incredible acceleration brings us right to milestone number 2. This is what I like to call the freedom point. It happens around the $650,000 mark, and it's where your money starts spitting out an income stream that can totally change your relationship with work itself.
Let's put this into perspective, okay? The median U.S. household income, which, remember, people work all year to earn, is about $78,000. Well, with a portfolio of this size, you could generate over $50,000 a year in passive income. That's income you get without lifting a finger. All of a sudden, the fear of losing your job isn't a catastrophe anymore. It's just an inconvenience. You now have real options.
And that is what true financial freedom is all about. It's not about buying fancy cars or more stuff.
It's about buying back your time. It's about buying choices. You can finally afford to take that risk and start that business. You can go back to school. Or maybe, most powerfully, you can just say no to things that don't serve you. You get to design your own life, instead of your bank account designing it for you.
And that brings us to our third and final milestone, crossing that $1 million mark. Look, this isn't just about the number. This is a complete psychological transformation. It means you have effectively won the financial game that most people are forced to play their entire lives.
Now here's where the math just gets absolutely ridiculous, but in a good way. Getting from 0 to your first million is the hardest thing you'll ever do. But to get from 1 million to 2 million, you just need your portfolio to double. To get your third million, you only need a 50% gain on your 2 million. And the fourth? Just a 33% gain. The snowball has become an avalanche.
So, the most important thing to take away from all this is that your first million isn't the finish line. Not even close. It's the real starting line. It's the point where you've proven the system works and it opens up a whole new world of possibilities. It's the starting line for what's truly possible in your life.
The math here is just undeniable. Reaching these milestones isn't about luck. It's about discipline and time. It takes patience, for sure, but the payoff is a life of freedom. So the only real question left is, will you start today? Because as this quote says, years from now, you're either going to be thanking yourself for it or you're going to be left wondering what could have been.